Okay, today we're going to look at solving a system of equations using by graphing it. Now, what's that mean? Well, a system of equations is two of these types of equations. Remember the y equals mx plus b type equations, the slope-intercept form. And we're going to take two of those, draw a line on a graph. Here's just a quick graph. So one line might look like this and another line might look like that. And where they intersect is going to be our answer. Okay, so let's see if we can figure that out and do it. All right, the best way, like I've said, to learn math is just to jump right in. So our first one is going to be y equals negative 3x plus 2. That's our first equation, okay? We're going to make a line out of that. And then our second one is y equals 2x minus 3. And we're going to make a line out of that, and they're going to intersect. All right, let's see what we're doing. So first off, we'll draw our grid here, okay? And then we'll draw another line there. All right, so far so good. So this is x and this is y. All right, let's take a look at our first equation here. We're going to take a look at this equation and we're going to graph it over here. We're going to draw a line. All right, I notice a few things about it. I notice right off the bat, it's already in our y equals mx plus b form, so that's good. That's what we want. And we can see right off the bat that m, remember slope equals m. So our slope is negative 3, so that's good to know. And b, remember b means where our line is going to cross the y-axis, where it's going to cross. And right here it says it's going to cross at positive 2. All right, so I'm just going to draw a few lines up here. We'll call that 5. And we'll just draw a few lines over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably don't even have to go out that far, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, this will be negative 5 and positive 5 over there and negative 5 over here. Okay, so far so good. So our line here, we notice that the y-intercept is positive 2. So where's positive 2 on the y? Well, we know positives go up, so it's going to be right here. Okay, we'll draw, let me change this to black, and maybe that'll help a little bit. Okay, so that's where it's going to cross the y-axis. Now the slope, it tells us here, is negative 3. Well, let's bring that down here, and I'm gonna write it like this: negative 3 over 1. Okay, now I'll tell you why. If you ever see a regular number like that as a slope, always put it over 1. It makes it easier to figure things out. Now notice it's negative 3. Now we're going to start here at our dot here, our y-intercept, and we're going to go down 3. See how it's negative? The negatives go down. So I'm going to draw a little arrow down, so that just reminds us we're going to go down 3. And then we have a 1, but it's a positive 1. It's going to go sideways, and positive going on the x value sideways. The 1 is positive, so it's going to go the positive way or to the right. Okay, so let's figure this all out. So we're going to start here. We're going to go down 3. Okay, so we're going to go start here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to go over 1. Whereas from here, we go over 1, so we're going to end up right there. And let me draw a dot there. And now we have 2 dots, and we can connect those dots into a line just like that. Okay, let me straighten that out a little bit. Okay, that's good enough. I hope that works. All right, so that's the graph of this line here, of this equation here. This is the graph of that equation. Okay, now let's work on this one here. We got the same deal. It's already in this y equals mx plus b form. That's what you want. And it's already looks like that. So our slope this time is 2. So, and our y-intercept is, remember, look at what's in front of numbers. It's a -3. It's -3. So -3 would be down here, 1, 2, 3. I'll draw a nice dot there. Okay, so far so good. And then our slope is 2. Now it's a regular 2, so I'm going to put it over 1. Okay, it just makes it easier. And notice it's a +2, so positives go up and down, or go up, I'm sorry. Positives go up, negatives go down. So this is going to be up 2. And then this is a 1, a +1, so it's going to be over 1. Okay, so starting down here, we're going to go up 2. Let me change this. We're going to go up 2, 1, 2, because that's what it says here, 2, positive going up. 1, 2, and over 1. Oh, look at that. We end up right there. So we're going to end up right at that point we already got before. So let me draw this line. We're going to connect these two dots here. Something like that, I guess. Okay. And there you go. Where they intersect, where they cross, right there, that is the solution to both of these equations. So where do they meet? They meet at 1, -1. So I'm having a hard time squeezing it in over there. I'll put it here. They meet at the point 1, -1. Now, I'm going to leave something up to you. I'm not going to do it here on the video, but if you want to make sure this is right and that this is the solution, you can take these two numbers, 1 and -1. Remember, the +1 is the x, and the -1 is the y, okay? And you can put them back into these equations here. You can put 1 in for x and -1 in for y, and they should solve both of those equations. Okay, you give that a try, all right? You can pause the video if you want and give that a try, and they should be the solution to both of these equations. Okay, very good. Now let's say you have a problem where the equations aren't in this slope-intercept form. In other words, they look something like this. Let's say we have y equals 3x minus 4. Okay, y equals 3x minus 4. Now that's in our formula. That's in the right form, that y-intercept stuff. But what about this one? Y plus 1/2 x equals 3. Uh-oh. That one is kind of goofy. It's not in that y equals mx plus b form. Well, let's draw our graph here first and see what we can do. Okay. So we'll draw our grid, and we'll label this over here x and this one y. Okay. Now, let's do one thing at a time. Now, students do things different ways, and you've got to find your own way, but I like to do things just one at a time. So let's graph this one first here. We'll graph this equation, get that all done, and then it's all done. Don't worry about it. Then we can worry about this one next. So let's try this one first. Okay, so it's already in that y equals mx plus b form. So we notice that our slope is going to be 3. And I remember it's a regular 3, so I'm going to put it over 1. Okay, we'll put that down there for now. And it intersects the y-axis at -4. All right, so let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And maybe I'll do a few up here too. We'll just do it kind of loosey-goosey so you get the idea. All right, these will be 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, good enough. So it's gonna cross at -4. So right there. Okay. Put a dot right there. Okay, good. And the slope, remember, is 3/1. So it's a +3. So positives on the y go up. The good go up, right? And then it's +1, so that goes over. Okay, so we're going to start here and we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3, and then over 1. I should change that to blue, shouldn't I? Let's make that blue. Okay, there's our 2 points. And now we'll draw our line to connect those 2 points. Something like, oh boy, that's kind of off. Let's fix that. Well, good enough. Okay, so that connects our 2 points. That will be our line. Okay. All righty. Okay, I hope it's long enough. Boy. All right. Well, we'll have to deal with it. Okay. So that takes care of the first equation, which was not too bad. Now the second one, you'll notice, is not in this form. It's not in that y equals mx plus b form. So we got to make it look like that. Well, how the heck are we going to do that? We notice it has y and it has this half of x here. The y's got to be by itself. So that means the half of x here has got to jump the fence and come over here. And when it does, it'll change its sign to -1/2 x, right? Or -1/2 x. Okay. It's still not quite in that form, is it? Because the x has to lead the parade and the 3 is the caboose. So let's just switch it around here. So once it jumps the fence, we're left with y over here. Okay. And it has the -1/2 x as the caboose. Well, let's put him up front. So that's going to be -1/2 x. All we're doing is moving it to the front, because that's the way that y equals mx plus b thing is. And the 3 is going to be the caboose now, but it's a +3, so +3. There we go. Now we have our equation here. We just switch a root a little bit and made it look like that y equals mx plus b form. So we have y equals -1/2 x plus 3. Now we can graph it. Okay, so the y-intercept is going to be +3. So let's go up there. There's 1, 2, 3, right about there. Okay, good enough. Now the slope is going to be -1/2. So I'm going to put the negative up there with the 1. Like that. So remember, negatives on the y go down and the +2, so that's going to go over like that because it's plus. So that means this time we're going to go down 1. We're going to go down 1 and over 2. Okay, so hopefully this will work. Let's see here. Okay, so down 1 and then over 2. 1, 2. Well, it should be about right there. Well, that's my fault with eyeballing the graph. You know what? We're going to fix that right now, the old-fashioned way. Let's see. It's just because I didn't. Oops, we don't want that. There we go. So this is going to be 2 here, okay? Not quite scientific and exact, but you get the idea. So now we can connect those 2 lines or 2 dots and draw our line. It'll be right about like that. Again, it's not terribly scientific, but there we go. Yes, sir. And notice where they intersect, where they hit each other is right there. And that is the point 2, kind of use your imagination, 2 and 2. So where they intersect, where they cross is 2, 2, just like that. Yes, sir. Now, again, you should take the time to put these, this is X and this is Y, put these numbers back into these equations and see if they work. And just to help us out, let's do the first one together, okay? So I'm going to take 2 and 2 and put them back in here, and I'll show you what I mean. First, we'll write down the equation just so we have it straight again. y equals 3x minus 4. Okay, so if I stick 2 in for x and 2 in for y, they should equal. Right? Here's what I'm talking about. Okay, so y is 2. So 2, put 2 over there. And x is 2. So remember, when numbers and letters are scrunchy close, that means multiply. So I'm going to use a parentheses to remind me that I'm multiplying, because if I don't, it's going to look like the number 32, and I'm going to get all confused. So I know when it's in this form, we're multiplying. All right, now we got all numbers. Let's see what happens. So 2 equals, what's 3 times 2? 6 minus 4. Look at that. Yes, sir. So 2 equals 2. That's what I'm talking about. And lots of times in math, I'll put a little check mark there that it checks. So that is the solution. And I bet you a dime to a dollar, if you put 2 and 2 into this equation here, either this one here or this one here, they will also come out equal to each other. Okay, that's all there is for graphing system of equations and finding the solution by using a graph. Okay, well, thank you very much.